feeling nervous or stressed for the test today?
A little bit.
How many of you are get nervous or stressed about everyday life events? I feel that way too. I actually spend the majority of my life feeling nervous or stressed or worried or panicked because I suffer from anxiety disorder. By definition, anxiety disorder is a feeling of worry or nervousness about an imminent event or a certain outcome. I want to illustrate how in my life, I let stress and anxiety become the basis of how I live, and how God has led me to live my life with a sense of calm. The majority of my life has felt like this water bottle when you shake it up. It's felt like constant turmoil, constant moving, trying to escape and trying to break out. That's what it's like in your brain when you live with anxiety. When I was younger, I was unaware of the problems that I was dealing with. I thought that everybody lived like this. I thought everybody stressed out about the same things I did. I thought everybody stressed out about being late, or what are they going to wear tomorrow, or what are they going to eat tomorrow, or who are they going to hang out with tomorrow. And I was just blissfully unaware of what I was dealing with. As I moved on to high school and college, I was handed more responsibilities, and this came with more stress. And I began to stress about bigger issues, like assignments, and where am I going to go to college, and how am I going to leave my family, how am I going to leave my friends, what am I going to do with my future? I had no idea. This left me in a constant state of distress. It caused me to have multiple panic attacks all the time. And it got to the point where I couldn't even get up out of bed in the morning to go to class, or I couldn't do basic things like get dressed or bother to brush my hair because I felt so self-conscious and anxious all the time. This is when I realized I had a problem, that not everybody lived like this, and not everybody felt this constant state of anxiety. And I began to talk to people and began to get help about this issue. Now, in talking to people, I talked to a lot of different people about my problems, and a lot of people led me to look towards Scripture and to look toward God. And reading Scripture, I realized that Jesus took a lot of time for himself, for self-development and for self-care. He took a lot of time to wake up early in the morning and go on walks with God. He took time to pray, and he took time to be alone with God. And this is something that was missing from my life, I realized. I wasn't taking time to take care of myself, or to be alone, or to take care of my mind. And when going through Scripture, one verse really stood out to me, and it said, "Just keep calm. The Lord himself will fight for you." This was a revolutionary idea to me, that if I stay calm, if I stop worrying, Jesus will be there to fight my battles with me. Jesus will be there to combat my anxiety. And with that scripture in mind, I began taking steps to a more positive lifestyle. I began taking steps to self-care, to be alone with Jesus, and to pray more about my anxiety. This isn't to say that it was completely cured, or that this fixed everything, because it didn't. But I realized that learning to take care of yourself was something that I was missing, and it was adding to my problems of trouble and anxiety. I took the steps to change my lifestyle. And I also discovered and seeked out people who felt the same way that I did. People on this campus and people that you know who also deal with anxiety, who also feel the same way I do, and who weren't alone, and that I wasn't alone in this, and that I wasn't alone when I was with God. My life was no longer like the water bottle that was being shaken. When you let the water still, it becomes calm and still. And that's what I wanted my life to be like. And that's what it was when I found God and found Jesus. God has led me to live my life in a sense of calm now. I try to be more peaceful like the still water in the jar, and I try to model that in everyday life. When things become stressful again, I remind myself of that scripture that I first found when I was looking through the Bible. I remind myself to stay calm. The Lord himself will fight for you.